Hello and welcome back to the Ironman. We are picking up right where we left off in the last episode, and that is trying to get 87 range. Currently I'm at 86, and I figured I might try out some AFK Rarari, try to get a couple of Ascension keys, and just some AFK range XP. Obviously this is not as optimal as it could be, as I don't yet have Corruption Blast from raids, and that would help out a ton here, as I'm sure you all know. But I'm hoping to, still be able to hang out and AFK well enough to get some decent range XP and hopefully get a couple of kills banked up for the Ascension bosses later on down the line. Okay, we just hit 87 range. I ended up just doing a few Slayer tasks using range only in a row, so now we can equip our Decimation. Also, I saw in the comment section of the last video, someone said I might be able to just wear my Wicked Hood and complete this task where I have to wear a Death Tiara instead of having to get an additional Death Talisman. So, considering I'm still 86 Slayer and a long way off of getting 90 for Dark Beast, and I really want to, make some overloads and kill some stuff, let's at least try it out. Okay, we are here at the Death Altar. I have my Pure Essence. I don't think I've actually ever made Death Runes before, so I might get an Arty task or something as well. I'm not sure. Let's craft Death Runes. Okay, we actually got it. So yeah, thanks for the suggestion. The Wicked Hood does count as a Death Tiara for this task. Okay, this should be the last task of the medium set, Stranger Plant Pouch at the Well of Voyage. Yes, it is. And let's go claim our upgraded quiver. Okay, I got the next tier of the quiver, and 30k Herbler XP as well, which is not bad. It's been a little while since last time I hunted Grenwalls, so I completely forgot to bring my herb bag, or a bone crusher for that matter. Oops, but we are catching our first Grenwalls using the quota tickets from the games of Big Chinchapa that I've done in the past. Okay, I got up to 1,000 Grenwall spikes, give or take a few, which was pretty painful because at catching Grenwalls at 79 Hunter, your failure rate is like insane. It takes quite a few failed box traps to actually catch a Grenwall, but I got it done. Okay, I got my brown spice ready. I got my overload preset set up. Time to drink this. I only have one shot at it because I had some leftover spicy stew, but I have done Evil Day's Big Day Out, so I'm supposed to have like a much greater chance of a positive boost. Let's try it. Oh, we got 98 herb on the first boost, so we can start making them. Yeah, our first overloads. Sweet. Comes out to a total of 47 4 doses. The real limiting factor here wasn't even like the Torstals or anything, it was the extreme strengths, because I've just had a heck of a time getting dwarf weeds, just have not been able to get very many of them. So we don't have a lot of overloads, but hopefully this will allow us to do some PVM to get some more supplies to make more, so we should be well in the cycle of being able to supply ourselves from now on. Okay, time to be done with training Div the traditional way forever. Just hit 70 div, which means I now no longer have to do wisps or caches. I mean, I can still do caches, obviously, they're good XP, but I get to move on to the Hollow Memories, which is going to be my primary method of training from now on. Oh, here it is. It's down at the bottom of the level up. I thought it wasn't even listed. Okay, this is the Hollow Memories. It's kind of like a mini game, I guess, but yeah, you just run around and harvest from the pillars and the broken down bots and everything. Fill up these jars, and the XP is supposed to be a lot better than just training Divination the standard way. Unfortunately, I don't have access to things like Double Surge and Bladed Dive. I don't have the Divination suit. I don't have any Divination urns, although I could go make some. So my training is not going to be super efficient, but even so, this should be faster than doing Div the normal way. Okay, I really want to use out my overloads in Turmoil, but I need a place to use them, right? And I figured since our best weapon right now is range, I should probably go kill some Arma, because I really don't have good range gear right now, to be honest. But unfortunately, to do God Wars Dungeon, it doesn't really make any sense to start doing it until we complete Edgar's Ruse. Otherwise, it's just hard and annoying to bank and to get back. So, Edgar's Ruse, here we go. Alright, you know what time it is. Another Evil Tree. It just seems to be the only wilderness event I do these days. This time, I'm wearing my Decimation for good luck. Hopefully, I get an Annihilation or whatever the Mage Staff is called. I don't actually remember the name of it. Okay, here we go. Nope, nothing exciting. Just a little bit of salvage. Okay, I'm back to finishing off Edgar's Ruse after that brief interruption with the Bloodwood Tree. But yeah, now we can teleport to Trollheim. I could do the Mighty Fall and unlock the God Wars Dungeon teleport, but honestly, I just want to go kill some Kriara, so we'll worry about that later. Just to give myself a beast of burden, I farmed a few tortoise shells, but I think I'm going to end off with less than a full inventory here. They are annoying to farm and they take forever. And also,
once I get to 84 summoning, I can use the highest level pig familiar, the pack pig, and that is actually better than a war tortoise. It's the best familiar you can use until pack yak. So I think once I run out of war tortoise patches here, we're going to try to push to 84 summoning. This does now mean I'm making the conscious decision to unlock God War's Dungeon, so I can, from now on, get God War's Dungeon 1 boss tasks from Death. And I'm okay with that, to be honest. I did take quite a bit of damage, even though I made a beeline straight from the rope south here, just because all the Saradomin creatures got on me. So I do really need a Shard of Zeros. I do have to grind out 4 divination levels, and I didn't want to wait quite that long to do my first Kree trip, but that is probably something I need to do in the near future. Okay, here we go. First Kriara kill. I remember this boss being pretty easy to camp without insane gear on my previous Ironman, but of course I had better gear and stats than I do right now, so we'll see if I can last the entire hour. Okay, the first kill was actually pretty rough. I am taking quite a bit of damage. Turns out that this Black D'hide is not the best defensive stuff, but hopefully we will get some Arma soon, and that would help out a ton. Okay, I think the first trip is done. I am out of food, and it's time to go back to the bank and regroup. I think I managed, I want to say like 16-ish kills, which isn't bad, considering I am in terrible defensive armor. But I'm going to rethink my setup a little bit and then get back to it. Okay, I'm going to finally attune my second boss portal to Kree. I do want to really prioritize unlocking Armadillo armor. Also, I'm stuck wearing these like super janky Ruden playskirt in the Zamorak style just because it's so annoying to have the Zamorak creatures attack you. And this is the only Zamorak item I have. So it might be worth making one trip to Zami just to try to pick up a piece of War Priest so I can wear that instead. Okay, in my first instance of Kriara, we managed 37 kills. I did have to make one bank trip, so I wasn't here the entire time. But it looks like, unfortunately, my insane luck that I've had in other areas of the game is not going to transfer over to God War's Dungeon, at least initially, and it may actually take a while to get this Armadillo armor. Okay, I managed to get in on a KBD event. I took a crap ton of damage from that KBD. I don't know if he focused me down or what, but... Oh, another Black Dragon egg. I guess that's fitting, because we just killed a Black Dragon. Well, this is what I get for starting to kill Kree. I have now unlocked God War's Dungeon 1 for death tasks, and we got Commander Ziliana, so maybe I'll make a trip there. From my memory, I believe she is the hardest out of the 4 God Wars 1 bosses, just in terms of like how much damage output she has potential, but I'll see if I can maybe melee it, and it should be okay for at least 10 kills. So that should do it for the task. I was right. Ziliana does hit quite a bit harder than Kree does, just off of her basic attacks. I will say, though, I noticed a huge difference between the tier 80 melee armor and like the tier 65 Black D'hide that I've been using for Kree. I do a lot better against the basic attacks. Her magic attack just hits really hard. I still have yet to kill Gerardor or the Zami boss at all, but we'll get to those in the future. Okay, I just did another Bloodwood treat. I'm sorry, I do so many of these, I know. Let's really quick open it up, see if we get anything good. Another pair of Dragon Rider boots. Sweet. Okay, I got my first Arc Glacior task since unlocking Soul Split. And I do know that at high levels with, good enough gear and everything, Arc Glacior can be just full AFK. You just turn on your Soul Split and set it and forget it. And not really have to make any sort of inputs at all. Not sure if that's going to be possible with my gear, but this is a perfect time to go test out that theory. Okay, yeah, this boss is dumb easy with overloads and Soul Split turned on. The only downside is, even with the Penance Aura active, I still don't take enough damage to fully restore my prayer, so to hang out here long term, I need to at least drink a prayer potion every once in a while, but yeah, you can pretty much just AFK this with Soul Split turned on with the gear I have. Definitely something I'm going to think about next time we need to do a summoning grind. Okay, we just got our first ever Armadillo drop. It's boots! Little tiny loop beam right there. I'm just going to go ahead and slap these on right away, so we get plus 11 range bonus. That's not bad. Over the Black D'hide boots, which obviously didn't give us any sort of damage bonus at all. Okay, it's finally time for Magic to join the ranks of the valid combat styles I can use for PVM, because we just hit 85, which means I now have access to use Sunshine. Prior to that, I wasn't really going to start PVMing with Magic just because of how important Sunshine is, but now we got it unlocked. I'm okay with that. I really haven't done a tree farming run yet on this entire account. I've been completely reliant on the player-run farms, mostly just harvesting honeycomb from them,
and also a few herb runs here and there in order to get all of my farming XP, but I think it's high time to start planting trees. I do have a lot of trees from doing maple logs from Miscellanea, and I also find myself in need to train my farming up a little bit, because 79 farming is when you can plant dwarfweed, and 85 farming is when you can plant torstal, and I really need both of those herbs to continue doing herb lore and keep up my overload supply. Okay, so that's actually it for God Wars Dungeon 1. I unfortunately don't really have a lot of clips to share because I wasn't able to do a whole lot of God Wars Dungeon 1 during the past couple of weeks. Even though I've been on break from school, I've actually had less time to play than I normally do because I've just been out of town the vast majority of the Christmas break with family and such, and not having access to my PC. But that's okay. I did get a little bit started in God Wars Dungeon 1. Getting that first Armadyl drop done feels great. It's great motivation to keep going and try to collect the whole set. So in the background here, you're going to be seeing some Croesus clips. I've just been doing a little bit of Croesus lately because it is more low intensity than God Wars Dungeon 1. And also, as far as I understand it, the Croesus armor is pretty much a must for, entering into the late game PVM with magic. It's something I'm going to need in the long run, especially because I plan on getting those that tier 88 wand and orb from ports. And it's a long grind to get the Crypt Bloom armor. It takes a really long time to get it. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So far with Croesus, I've just been doing public lobbies, which are no question about it, less efficient than going in a team that is really quick and really efficient, knows exactly what it's doing. But the bright side about public lobbies is you don't have to organize anything. You can kind of just hop onto World 68 and get going, which I really like. So there's no scheduling involved. And the other thing that I really like about it is originally I kind of didn't know what I was doing with Croesus, and also I was a fairly low hunter level, so I wouldn't always get drops. But now through a combination of learning the mechanics and also training up my hunter, I'm at 79 at the moment, about to hit 80. I have started getting drops from every single kill. So I don't necessarily get like a ton of contribution score. I think the max contribution score you can get is 400, which is just not going to happen in a public instance with 1 million people going at it. But I am getting enough of a contribution score to get unique drops. They're just rare. I know the drop rate is 1 out of 50 if you have max contribution score, and if you have less, it's obviously a lot lower than that. So with that in mind, it's going to take a really long time to get the Crypt Bloom armor, obviously, but I'm planning on just kind of chipping away at this when I don't really have anything else I feel like doing at the moment. And this is actually going to be 80 Hunter, just from the Croesus nodes. I just did like half a Hunter level here. Not a ton so far, but, in the long run, this Hunter XP builds up. Well, I was secretly hoping I could get a Croesus drop for this video, but considering how rare they are and that it could take, literally another 10 to 15 hours for me to actually get my first Croesus drop, I think it's a little bit unrealistic for this one. Unless, of course, Jagus is hearing my plea and wants to reward me on this last kill that I'm going to be doing this video. Nope, doesn't look like it, although I will say the regular drops from this boss are pretty good. Getting a lot of cash, getting a lot of goods that are, useful for skilling and stuff. Here's my last reward chest from like 5 kills or so. Yeah, 1.6 mil. Not bad. Red spider eggs aren't exactly useful because you get like 10 million of them from killing Vyres, but the rocktails will come in handy eventually, and I'm always down for more herb seeds. Oh my gosh, I knew it would happen. I definitely don't keep up on my herb runs every day, but lately a lot of them have been pretty lame. I think Guam is a new low. I guess we're just not getting any bonus points for planting herbs today because I'm definitely not planting Guam seeds. Okay, and the last thing that I'll leave off with this video is I'm going to claim my farming challenge reward here, and that is 79 farming. It's not like a huge milestone level, but it does unlock dwarfweed, so I can now plant everything I need to plant other than torstals, which is super nice for all of my herb lore needs. Alright, that is going to do it for this episode. I think all in all fairly successful. We did get started with Armadyl, and although I didn't unlock a ton of drops or anything, our overall boss kills went from like, I think around 100, not much over 100 to, basically tripling our boss KC. So that's not bad. We're finally dipping a toe into PVM. For the next episode, looking forward, I would really like to get a big drop, and I know we just got the decimation not too long ago, but I'm not really sure what qualifies a big drop. Maybe completing the entire Armadyl set, maybe getting a pet, maybe just anything from God Wars Dungeon 2 would qualify as pretty big at this point in our account's development. But yeah, that's the main goal, and then the secondary goal is I just need 7 more div levels, and then we can unlock Invention. Invention is obviously very helpful for PVM, for skilling, for life in general, so that's what I'm going to be aiming for. I would like to continue uploading once a week as I did last semester, but this semester I will be a little bit more busy. I'm really getting into the swing of things with my grad project, so I don't know if that'll be possible, but I will try my best. But anyway, yeah, whether it's 1 week or 2 weeks, and a lot of that may just depend on how lucky I get with drops and how much stuff I have to show off 7 days from now, but hope to see you all then. So until then, goodbye.